Hi there, welcome to this lesson about the fundamental accounting principle. I have indicated the statement of the principle for us on the board. We can read it. It says if there are m ways to perform a task and n ways to perform a second task, then the total number of ways in which both tasks can be performed is given by the product of the two, m times n. So I'm going to take a question here on page 297 of the Grade 12 Mathematics Inquiry book. It says, a security system requires a user to choose a security code. The code consists of 4 digits. How many different codes can be chosen if the system allows for repetition and if the system does not allow for repetition? So usually this setup is used by companies who want to create an access code system from the gate to enter their workplace, or even your phone right now can be using a 4-digit PIN. Okay, so let us use this question to explore this principle and just see how it works. Okay, so it's a digit system. In other words, we are choosing from numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 9. Okay, in other words, you have 10 choices. And what I use in probability under this section is a placement diagram where you indicate places with lines, and on top of the lines or above the lines is the number of choices that you have for that tasks, or the number of different ways you can perform the task, using the language of the principle itself. So there are 4 places, as you can see, okay, for both parts of the question, but they're different. Here we allow repetition, here we don't allow repetition. So let's start with this one. So meaning that if I take a number 2, okay, I can repeat it. I can have 2, 2, 2, 2, right? Or have 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 6, 6, 9, 9, 5, 5. So repetition is allowed, meaning that for the first place, how many numbers am I choosing from? I'm choosing from 10 numbers, or 10 digits, if you like, right? Because repetition is allowed, whatever number I put here, it can come again there. So I'm not left with 9 numbers. I can still choose from 10 numbers, right? And there as well. Why? Because repetition is allowed. Repetition is allowed. So there are 4 places in our placement diagram, and the principle says the operation that we now introduce is a multiplication to find out the total number of security codes which can be created if repetition is allowed. And if you multiply that throughout, you'll get 10,000 codes which can be created. Okay, let's go to the second part. If repetition is not allowed. So again, there are 4 places. In the first place, we're choosing from 10 numbers. But whatever number that we put here or we place here cannot be used there, there, or there. So from 10, we're going to reduce our choices of numbers to 9 now. For the second place, we are now choosing from 9 numbers. Okay? And whatever numbers that we have placed in the first 2 places cannot come there or there. So from 9, we are reducing the number of choices to 8. So you can now imagine or predict that will be 7. Okay, because repetition is not allowed. And we introduced the operation of the principle. It says you multiply all those different number of ways that you can place the digits per place in the code itself. So if you multiply that throughout, you get 5,040 codes which can be created there. All right. So basically, this is the essence of the principle, and this is how you apply it. You just have to be careful in terms of whether or not there's a restriction or there isn't a restriction. Okay. Now, that will be it for this lesson. Continue with the rest of the exercises in the book. If you have the book, if you don't have the book, you can order it. And yes, do as much as you can so that you get to master this section of mathematics as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you next time. Shap shap.